Tequila. Ladies and gentlemen, you know when a film comes along and you think, this has got to be my new favourite film? It's here, Baby Driver, man. It officially comes out on the 28th, but I got an early preview of it with my unlimited card at Cineworld. And, well, I was more than blown away with this film. I knew it was going to be great. It's Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright has not made a bad film yet. I love the Cornetto trilogy. Shaun of the Dead, I remember seeing that for the first time, being blown away. And then you've got Hot Fuzz, World's End, and of course Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. All four are like 5-star movies, and I was thinking, Baby Driver has got to be just amazing if this is what he's produced so far. And oh my god, it really is. It could be up there. I mean, I don't know if I'd class it as my favourite Edgar Wright film, because it's very hard. You can't really have a favourite Edgar Wright film because they're all so good. But as a film in its own right, this movie is absolutely fucking awesome. It blew me away, and I love this film. I loved it so much. I talked about how original films don't come around that often, and they're all reboots, sequels. There is one out now. Well, there will be. And if you don't go and see this movie, you're doing yourself a serious disservice, because, this is a film that needs to be seen to be believed. So it stars Ansel Elgort from The Fault in Our Stars as a character called Baby, who is a getaway driver. He gets into a bit of trouble with Kevin Spacey's character, who he's definitely redeemed himself after 9 lives, I can tell you that much. But he gets into a bit of trouble with Kevin Spacey's character, so of course he has to pay him back this debt, and he becomes a getaway driver. And when he thinks his job is done, he gets pulled into this world again, and he has to try and get himself out of it somehow. He meets a lady, and I don't really want to say much more, because I don't want to spoil this movie for people who don't know a lot about it, because I went into this movie not really knowing what the plot was, and it benefited me, because I was watching it and I was thinking, I didn't know any of this was going to happen. I saw I think there's a few trailers, 2 or 3 trailers. I saw the trailers, and the trailers just give you a little bit of the action, a little bit of the dialogue, but it doesn't give you, that much. And watching it in the cinema for the first time, the soundtrack, the acting, the dialogue, the action that does go on, it really does blow you away, because there's nothing about this movie that really is boring or uncool. This is the coolest film I've seen for such a long time. Now, every actor, like I said, does a good job. You've got Kevin Spacey as this mob boss, and Jamie Foxx is really good in this film. John Hamm. They all just give the best performances they can. And when I saw this film, there was a sort of little preview thing that Edgar Wright was saying about before the film. He was introducing it, and he was like, yeah, this film has no CGI, very minimal green screen. This was all filmed on real roads. This is all real stunts. And I was just watching it in disbelief. My jaw was hitting the floor. How can you film something like this? This is insane, A lot of people have complained about the love story with Lily James' character and Ansel Elgort, and that it brings the film down. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think she was really good in the film as well. I mean, there are certain points where the movie will slow down, but it's not in a bad way. I mean, I was kind of glad the movie slowed down sometimes, because it's such a high-octane fun fest, and there's so much going on with the car chases and everything. I was like, okay, a little bit of downtime could benefit me. Give me a little bit of time to relax, and then throw me straight back into it again. The last act of this film, really, really great. Obviously, I won't tell you how it goes down, because, again, I don't want to spoil this film. But it's really great. I mean, this is probably the biggest departure from Edgar Wright's work so far. I mean, you could argue that it's Scott Pilgrim, but with this one, he hasn't got the help of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. This is all a completely new cast that, as far as I know, he hasn't worked with before. So, he's gone into this one, had his own story. He said, in the introduction, this was a dream come true. This movie is something that, I've been wanting to do for such a long time, and seeing it and seeing people go and watch my movie, it's really a dream come true. And I'm sort of sat there thinking, I absolutely love this man. I mean, when I, leave university and everything, I do myself want to become a filmmaker, and Edgar Wright is one of the sole reasons that I do. Edgar Wright is probably my biggest inspiration. So seeing him so happy about this, it was like, yeah, I love this film, and I love the man behind it. The editing is amazing. Every Edgar Wright film has really good editing, but with this one, you know, you've got like the soundtrack, the music, you've got like scenes of John Hamm, he's shooting, and it's like syncing up with the music, or you've got like driving sequences that sync up with the music, and it's really awesome to watch. Like, even at the beginning, you've got Baby like walking down, he's gone to the coffee shop and he's collected some coffees and he's walking back to the office, or whatever you want to call it, and like the words from the song are like appearing on the wall behind him and he's singing it and stuff. And it's like, even the very first scene, there's like a bank robbery and he's sitting in his car and he's like, you know, making the sounds of the music in the car while the other characters are like robbing this bank, and you're just watching it thinking, this is really, really cool. You know, I haven't seen a movie so slick, stylish, and cool for a very long time. Probably since, well, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and that was 7 years ago, maybe, something like that. So, you know, this movie just really blew me away, and I loved it so much. I mean, I loved seeing a main character who barely spoke, but when every time you see him on screen, you just know what he's thinking, and you can look at him and go, that is a cool character. That is the coolest main character we've had for such a long time. I've never really seen Ansel Elgort do much, apart from The Fault in Our Stars, and while he's good in that, in this, he really does take his performance to the next level. And there's things that you find out about Baby, like why he has this ringing in his ears and he has to wear headphones to drown out music and stuff. And it's got a bit of an emotional core to it, but at the same time, you know, you look at him and you go, this guy is like a really great protagonist. And I just love that. You know, the performances as far as Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, and Jamie Foxx go, flawless, absolutely flawless. There couldn't have been a better cast for this film, and I feel like whoever casted this film, it was an absolute genius choice to cast all of these actors. And Edgar Wright really did. Oh, sorry, lost my Baby Driver glasses. Actually, there's a bit of a funny story. I did leave these in the cinema, and I had to run back up to get them because my taxi was dispatched. Ran back into the screen, and they had like music playing, and it felt like I was part of this movie. It was pretty cool. It just reminded me because, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, whoever casted these actors, brilliant job, and Edgar Wright really did know how to work off of them and work, you know, bounce off of them and give them dialogue that worked. And, you know, I had no doubt Edgar Wright would be able to do that, but seeing it actually on the screen is really good. So overall, Baby Driver is definitely up there with the best of 2017. It's probably tied as my favourite film so far with Logan. And I don't feel like many films can really top that this year. We've got a few coming out that I feel like could be up there, but as it stands, Baby Driver is one of the best of 2017, and it will probably remain that way. So stick around, because on Thursday, me and Dale are going to be watching Transformers: The Last Knight. Going from Baby Driver to that is just going to be hell. But a review of that will be coming on Friday. So if you've seen Baby Driver, not sure that many people have, because I don't know how much of a US release it's had yet. And I don't know how many people have been to the unlimited screening in different Cineworlds. But if you've seen it, let me know. Comment below. If you haven't, are you excited? And what is your favourite Edgar Wright film so far? So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.